I came here to heal, I came here to grow. Lesson in love, they helped me let go. I chose this path, I chose this time. Everything I need, I hold inside. I came here to heal, I came here to grow. Lesson in love, they helped me let go. I chose this path, I chose this time. Everything I need, I hold inside. Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Me, the Art of Starting Again with me, Tisha Michelle, your host. All right, so some of you may already know this about me, but one of my all-time favorite movies, like truly since forever, is Pretty Woman. Yes, that Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts. I have watched it more times than I can count. And I never really questioned why I loved it so much. I was just like, oh, this is so cute. And this has a fairy tale ending. Yeah. But recently, AKA this morning, I found myself watching it again because it was on. And whenever Pretty Woman is on, I have to watch it. Right. So, Pretty Woman is not just a romantic comedy. It is a story of transformation, of rebuilding, of reinventing yourself, of remembering your worth when the world tries to convince you otherwise. And here's what I realized this morning: the movie never changed, but I did. Because when you're in a season of reinvention, when you're rebuilding who you are from the inside out, everything around you starts to look different. The same songs, the same stories, the same movies start speaking new truth into your life. And if you keep looking through the same old lens, spoiler alert, nothing changes. But when you change, your entire world starts to mirror that shift back to you. So, in this episode, I want to talk about Pretty Woman, not just as a movie, but as a mirror for transformation, for rebuilding, and for what happens when two people cross paths and awaken something in each other. So, if you have not seen Pretty Woman before, shame on you. Go watch it ASAP. Kidding, but not really kidding. And if you have seen it before, I promise you, once you go look at it again, it's going to hit different. It's just going to hit different. All right, so we start off with Vivian. She starts the story in Vivian's Julia Roberts. She starts the story in survival mode, doing what she got to do, getting through life the best way she knows how. And then Edward, with his fine self, shows up, not as her rescuer, but as her reflection. He represents possibility. He shows her that there's more to life than what she's been surviving through, but she also becomes a reflection for him, reminding him that there's more to life than what he's been controlling. And that's the beauty of mirrors. They don't just show us who we are, they show us who we could be. So now I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think about a person in your life who may trigger something in you. Maybe you're envious of them, or maybe they just irritate you for no damn reason. Maybe it's someone you see online, someone you don't even know personally, but just something about them that gets under your damn skin. That, my friend, is your mirror moment. Because sometimes what we're seeing in someone else, whether it's their confidence, their peace, their boldness, is simply a reflection of something that already exists in us, something we haven't allowed ourselves to fully embody yet. And other times, that irritation is revealing a version of us that we've outgrown. It's like a reminder that it's time to level up and integrate a new way of being. And mirrors aren't always comfortable. However, I can tell you they do become sacred teachers. So then there's this beautiful dinner scene, right, where Vivian's got this beautiful dress on. She got her hair all up. And, Edward took her to this dinner because he went to go meet this father and son duo that he's looking at buying their company. So the table's full of fancy food. It's like multiple forks. I think there might even be some like caviar. However, it has all those subtle codes that just ring class and status. So you can see Vivian, she looking a little uncomfortable because she doesn't know what to do. Like, she's new to this world. And then the older businessman that's sitting next to her, he notices. So instead of watching her like squirm in and look confused, he picks up his food with his hand and says, I never know which fork to use either. So beautiful, so beautiful. So just that one act of kindness shifts everything. He meets her where she is, takes away her embarrassment, At the same time, he's creating safety in that space because then she just smiled and picked the food up with her hands. And that's what grace looks like. Not pity, not perfection, just the willingness to make someone else feel seen and safe. So I want you to think about your own version of that moment. A time when someone showed you grace, when you didn't even know you needed it. Maybe they forgave you when you couldn't forgive yourself, or maybe they simply made room for your awkwardness, your humanity, your learning curve. See, grace has power. It changes the atmosphere, and it often plants seeds of healing in places where shame once dominated, like that shame lived there. And it's just this grace just does something. Whew. Yeah, I got my own things that's just running through my head. All right, so then comes the iconic shopping scene. This is when Vivian goes into this boutique on Rodeo Drive because he was like, go get you some new clothes. Here's some money. Go make it happen. She already didn't even know where to go. She had to call her friend, like, look, I got money. You told me to go get some clothes. You already know where I'm at. She was like, Rodeo Drive. Like, duh. All right. So, yes. Okay. So, anyway, so she's already feeling out of place. Like, this world is not really familiar to her. Um, and then, like, she goes into the boutique, right? So she goes into this boutique store, and the lady there, she like looks her up and down, and she's basically like, we don't have anything here for you. So that moment hit her deep because it was starting to confirm what she already believed about herself, that she doesn't belong. Pause real quick and see, that's a trigger. And if you have been listening to this podcast for a while, you would have heard me say over and over, triggers are an invitation to go within. But what we have been taught is that, oh, that triggered you, like, cut it, cut them, cut it, shut it down, don't pay any attention to it. Like, absolutely not. However, it's actually a moment for you, or an invitation for you to go within to say, why did this bother me? Wait, do I feel the same way that they said that? Is that why it bothered me so much? Oh, we got some work to do. So anyhow, so she leaves. She goes back to the hotel feeling some type of way. She tells the manager what happened. He steps in and was like, I got you. Right? Sends her to another store where she's treated with kindness. She's treated with respect. She's actually having fun, playing dress up and all that good stuff. So she gets a bunch of clothes, and then she also changes into one of the things that she purchased. So she looks like a brand new, like, lady, and confidence through the roof. So she walks back into the first store that was trying to shit on her, and she was like, I'm gonna shit on you, right? All right. So anyway, so she looks at the chick and she's like, you work on commission, right? Big mistake. Huge is what she says, holding up the stuff, because that stuff was costly on Rodeo Drive. And if you was getting commission off of that, she done blocked her blessings by judging someone. Come on. All right. So it's the ultimate full circle moment. And that scene reminds me how often judgment becomes a mirror too. When people judge you, they often reflect their own limits. And when you judge others, you reflect where your own healing still needs attention. You might not want to sit with that one. You might want to avoid it, but I actually encourage you to sit with that. Look at who you judging. Who you judging? What about them? Yeah, another conversation. So, anyhow, I want you to take a second and think back to a time when someone's judgment or rejection actually pushed you to level up. It might have stung at first, but it also sharpened you. It made you get clearer, stronger, and more self assured. And that's what triggers and judgment can do. They can either make you shrink or they can call you higher. And what I love most about Pretty Woman is that it wasn't just about her transformation, it was also about his. Vivian knew how to live. Like, she was spontaneous, free, fully present. And if you've seen the show, you know what she was doing for a living. And Edward, he was structured, rigid, all business. He lived in numbers, he lived in deals, and he lived in control. So she was a little spicy, so she brought color to his gray. And he brought stability to her world of chaos. So she showed him how to feel. and he showed her what was possible. And that's what divine connection does. It awakens the parts of you that have been dormant. It doesn't complete you. So let's not get that confused. It reminds you of your wholeness. And they were mirrors for each other. And through each other, they evolved. And it's like that's the mission here, right? Is to evolve in all areas of our life. And then the kiss. Vivian says she doesn't kiss on the mouth because it's too personal. And I've always understood that. I was like, I get it. I've even had people when we've like had this discussion and they're like, wait, make this make sense, Tisha. So you can have sex with someone, but kissing is too personal? Like what? I was like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. And it's like, oh, it's hard to explain. And it's like, okay, well, you're thinking about it, like people have sex, people do that, but kissing, there's passion, there's looking in each other's eyes, there's just that whole like, intimacy part of it. And when you're doing that, it's like, oh, I'm into this person, this feels great, we have this chemistry, I love them, they love me. And then it's like skirt, that can also turn to pain. So what we're not going to do is we're not going to get this close. Now that is coming from someone who is unhealed and who has not done any inner work, didn't even know what that even actually meant, per se. But as time goes by, you start to learn a lot more about yourself. And then once you are open to those triggers and to those different things, you start to go within and say, well, why do I feel like that? Why am I relating love with pain? Like, where did that come from? And blah, 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 blah. Right. So, okay. So let me get back. So for Vivian, it wasn't about boundaries. It was about self-protection. It was opening her heart. Opening her heart actually meant risk and pain. But when she finally does kiss him, like really kiss him, oh my God, I'm cheesing. I gotta go watch it again. That's the moment she lets love in. It's vulnerability, it's surrender and trust, all wrapped in one. Because rebuilding isn't just about money, career, or confidence. It's also about reopening your heart, learning to let love in, learning to let kindness be a part of your character, and grace. And allow all of those things to touch the places that you once were just guarding them, right? So when I look at Pretty Woman now, I see two people being transformed by each other's reflection. She mirrored joy and presence. He mirrored possibility and worth. And together they showed that transformation doesn't always happen in solitude. Sometimes it happens when life mirrors back the very lessons you're ready to learn, when you didn't even know that there was any lessons. So the movie never changed, but I did. And that, my friends, is the beauty of evolution. When you change, the world around you reveals itself in a completely new light. And it's so beautiful. So yeah, go watch Pretty Woman, please. And let me know that you watched it, whether it was for the first time or it was your 10th time. You could just DM me on IG and just say Pretty Woman. And I'll be like, I know what you did. You watched it. All right. So if this resonated with you, share it with somebody who's in their own rebuilding season, someone who's ready to see life through a completely different lens. And remember, your next chapter doesn't begin when everything changes. It does begin when you do. Until next time. Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Rebuilding Me, the sacred art of starting again. If this episode spoke to your soul, be sure to subscribe, leave me a review, and most importantly, share it with someone who's on their own journey of remembering who they are. And just know, you're not alone, and you never have to start from scratch. You're starting again, but this time with wisdom. Until next time, stay open, stay grounded, and trust your rebuild. And if you need help navigating this journey, make sure to visit www.tishamichelleofficial.com and book a sacred reset session.